everybody, my name is Alicia. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to talk about your occupation in Japanese. Let's get started. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to talk about your occupation in Japanese. Let's get started. Okay, let's begin by looking at the vocabulary for this lesson. Let's start over here. Let's go down the list and take a look at each word and how to pronounce it naturally. First is gakusei. 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 This word, gakusei, means student. Student. A pronunciation point about this word, it's not gakusei, but gakusei. Gakusei. So this U sound is very, very quick and soft. Gakusei will make it sound natural. Next is 警察官. 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 警察官 means police officer. Police officer. 警察官. 警察官. The next is 弁護士. 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 This word means lawyer. Okay, next is 研究者. 研究者. 研究者 means researcher. Researcher. In this word, please note this long U sound. So not 研究者, but 研究者. Make sure that U sound is very long. 研究者. 研究者. Researcher. Okay, next one in katakana here is バリスタ. バリスタ. This word means barista. Barista. It sounds a lot like the English word barista, right? So this one is hopefully easy to remember. Barista. Make sure you have this one in here though, this U syllable. Barista. Barista. Okay. Next, these are two words actually that can be used to refer to the same occupation. They are sensei, sensei, and kyoshi, kyoshi. So sensei and kyoshi can both be used to refer to a teacher. So one point about the word sensei, I think maybe lots of people are familiar with this word. Typically, when someone is a teacher, they don't refer to themselves as sensei. Typically, this is a title. Other people call their teachers sensei. We typically don't say it for ourselves. So for example, if you wanted to talk about me, you might use my name plus sensei, but I wouldn't say I'm a sensei. So keep this in mind. When you're talking about your profession, you can say kyoshi. So I'm a kyoshi would be I'm a teacher. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Isha. Isha. This means doctor. Isha. Isha. Next is shouboshi. Shouboshi. So in this word, we have these two long vowel sounds. Shouboshi. This word means firefighter. Firefighter. So make sure this U and this U, these long sounds, are clearly pronounced. So not shoboshi, but shouboshi to exaggerate. Shouboshi. Okay. Next is kaishain. 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 This means office worker or company employee. So maybe you know the word kaisha. Yeah? Kaisha means company. And in can be used to mean person or member of that thing. So kaishain means office worker or company employee. Kaishain. This is a very common word. Next is kangoshi. 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 Kangoshi means nurse. Nurse. So someone who provides care. A kangoshi. Next is shefu. Shefu. You can see this word, like barista, is also in katakana, a loan word, shefu. So shefu means, as you might expect, chef. Chef. So someone who prepares food is a chef. Shefu. The next word is also in katakana, engineer. Engineer. So engineer means engineer. Engineer. So make sure you pronounce this with the Japanese pronunciation, not engineer, but engineer. So this part maybe at the end is a little bit different from the English pronunciation. Not near, but nia. Nia. Yeah? Engineer. Engineer. Okay. Next is 会計士, 会計士. This one, 会計士, means accountant. Accountant. So 会計士, accountant. This word has these E sounds as well. Don't forget to pronounce those clearly. 会計士, 会計士 means accountant. Finally, our last word here is 銀行員. 銀行員. So 銀行員 means bank employee. Bank employee. So this one has this long O sound in it, yeah? Right here. So not 銀行, but 銀行. Make this U sound clearly. 銀行員. In this word, we also have this in sound I talked about earlier with 会社員. So it's like saying member of a bank or person in a bank. 銀行員. Okay, so these are the vocabulary words we're going to look at for this lesson. Next, let's take a look at some dialogue examples that use these vocabulary words. Okay, now let's take a look at some dialogue examples that use this vocabulary. First, let's start here. 会社員ですか?会社員ですか?いいえ、会社員ではありません。学生です。いいえ、会社員ではありません。学生です。So, this means, are you an office worker? 会社員ですか? No, I'm not an office worker. I'm a student. いいえ、会社員ではありません。学生です。So let's break this down. 会社員 here in the question means office worker. Plus we have ですか? Which means are you in this case? Are you an office worker? We follow this with no. いいえ、会社員ではありません. This is a polite way to say I am not that thing. いいえ、会社員ではありません. No, I'm not an office worker. 学生です. I'm a student. So let's continue on to look at a few more examples that use slightly different variations on the first sentence. We could reply with the same pattern, but with different vocabulary words in this position. For example, いいえ、学生ではありません。警察官です。いいえ、学生ではありません。警察官です。Which means, no, I'm not a student. I'm a police officer. So in this sentence, 学生 is in this position. No, I'm not a student. いいえ、学生ではありません. In this position, we have 警察官, which means police officer. So, no, I'm not a student. I'm a police officer. Okay, let's look at one more example. いいえ、弁護士ではありません。研究者です。いいえ、弁護士ではありません。研究者です。So in this sentence, we have 弁護士 in this position, lawyer. This means, no, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a 研究者, researcher. No, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a researcher. So we can change the occupation in these parts to reference your true occupation. Let's take a look at a basic pattern that you can use to create sentences like these for your own occupation. Okay, let's look at a sentence pattern you can use to talk about your own occupation. The basic pattern that we've been using in this lesson is いいえ, occupation A ではありません. Occupation B です. So what does this mean? It means, no, I'm not occupation A, I'm occupation B. So when someone asks you a question, like for example, 会社員ですか? Or 学生ですか? If it's not true, you can say いいえ、会社員ではありません. Or いいえ、学生ではありません. No, I'm not that thing. No, I'm not a 会社員. No, I'm not a company worker. Or no, I'm not a student. And then in the following sentence, you respond with your actual occupation. 弁護士です. I'm a lawyer. Or 研究者です. I'm a researcher. So you can also use this part of the pattern to just introduce yourself. So when you introduce your name, for example, you can follow up just with this pattern to share your occupation. 研究者です. I'm a researcher. Or 弁護士です. I'm a lawyer. So this pattern can be used to respond and correct someone, or this part of the pattern can be used to introduce your own occupation.
Do you remember how to say office worker? Kaishain. Kaishain. And how to say I'm not an office worker? Kaishain ではありません。会社員ではありません。Do you remember how to say no? いいえ。いいえ。And how to say no, I'm not an office worker. いいえ、会社員ではありません。いいえ、会社員ではありません。Do you remember how to say student? 学生、学生。And how to say I'm a student? 学生です。学生です。Do you remember how to say no, I'm not an office worker, I'm a student? いいえ、会社員ではありません。学生です。いいえ、会社員ではありません。学生です。And how to say police officer? 警察官。警察官。Do you remember how to say lawyer? 弁護士。弁護士。And how to say researcher? 研究者。研究者。Do you remember how to say barista? バリスタ。バリスタ。And how to say doctor? 医者。医者。Do you remember how to say firefighter? 消防士。消防士。And how to say teacher? 先生 or 教師。先生 or 教師。Do you remember how to say nurse? 看護師。看護師。And how to say chef? シェフ。シェフ。Do you remember how to say engineer? エンジニア。エンジニア。And how to say accountant? 会計士。会計士。Do you remember how to say bank employee? 銀行員。銀行員。
Thanks for watching. I'm Alicia, and I'll see you. Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.